r/AskReddit by Redmond ETS. Guests on the Jerry Springer Show. Was any of it real? What was your experience? My husband worked with a guy who was on the show. 100% fake, and he, his wife and a friend were responsible for making up their own backstory or feud. I was on it. It was mostly fake. We had a smidgen of truth to our story and they filled in the rest. They recorded us before the show started saying that it was all real, and if we told people it wasn't they'd fine us something like $86,000, which they said was the cost of taping one episode. I'm heading home from work, but I'd be happy to answer any questions I can when I get home. Did you get to interact with Jerry backstage at all? Very little. Like, he came out while we were waking through the studio offices and said hi to us. We saw Steve Wilkes though. Steve was still the main security guy back then, and my buddy shouted out, "Hey Steve." And Steve yelled back, "Hey, you did great out there." But it was our first time and we hadn't done our episode yet. So my buddy yells, "We haven't done our episode yet," and Steve goes, "Oh, well, you're gonna do great." It was awesome. Did you get paid? Were you coached? We did not get paid, but they flew us out there, limo ride to and from the airport. They put us up in a hotel and they provided food vouchers from the hotel we were at. We were super coached. Like, they made up a couple of lines and had me go over them a bunch of times. The girl in our group was told to come out crying, but she couldn't fake cry on command, so the producers got in her face and told her a bunch of super crappy stuff and threatened her with having to pay for the cost of the episode, which made her actually cry, and then they sent her out. It was pretty crazy watching their tactics. The only incident I want verified as real is the time Springer himself punched a guest. I can't find a clip. I don't recall specifically what the guest was on the show for. Pretty sure the guest was a racist though, KKK or some such. What I do remember is the guest really pushing Jerry's buttons, until he eventually made a veiled threat to Jerry. Jerry asked, "Is that a threat?" Guy says, "No, that's a promise." And then apparently said something the mic didn't quite catch. And Jerry, who's standing in front of the guy in this moment, just hauls off and decks the guy. The security guards took a beat to register what was going on, dash in and put themselves between Jerry and the guest, and the show cut to commercial. Comes back, Jerry's apologizing to the camera with a bloodied nose, and the show goes on. You're thinking of the Dr. Evil skit. Springer vs. Kreis. Probably where the skit got the idea from. I think earlier Springer was less scripted, if at all. Yeah, the late 90s were the best. They actually used to fight. The security guards would get involved, but those fights were real. My favorite was the mid-90s when they had all the really bizarre themes, like my dad's accountant is a vegan lesbian whose roommate only eats egg salad sandwiches. I went to high school with a girl that was on the show. It was one of the out-of-control teen shows. I can say for certain that in her case it was at least 80% made up. Her mom allowed her free reign on clothing and hairstyle as long as she kept her grades up. Her style was early 90s punk. Most trouble she got up to was occasional weed. I wasn't on the show, but I knew multiple groups of people who did go on the show, groups of friends and acquaintances. It was like a fad for a minute over here. All fake. Relationships were fake. The stories were fake. My one friend won't talk about it or let me see the part of the episode they're in because they are so ashamed about how they had to act. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. If you like videos like this one, why not like and subscribe for more? Have a nice evening.